name is Jibra'il Omar and I am an Australian citizen. I am currently living in the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. This is not the first time I have been to Afghanistan. I originally came to Afghanistan in 2016. I have been working as a professor at universities teaching English for approximately 20 years. And after teaching in over a dozen countries around the world, I finally ended up in Afghanistan. I decided to accept Islam for a combination of reasons, and the first was because of my captors. I spent a lot of time with the Taliban. I spent 1,192 days with them, to be exact. And like everyone else, there is good and bad, but 90% of the time that I spent with these people, it was a revelation for me. It was such a difference to the world that I had lived in before, that I could see people who were truly filled with faith, and that faith was Islam. In the second year, I was given some literature to read, and I started to explore the religion and to ask questions and to ask myself. And finally, through the example of the people around me, and also through a feeling that came from my own heart, I decided to accept Islam. It was not forced on me, like many people say. I am not a victim here. I don't have Stockholm syndrome. I simply made a decision based on what I saw around me and on what I felt inside me, and I accepted Islam. It has changed my life completely. When you ask me what led me to Islam in the end, the only answer really to that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I returned to Afghanistan because I made a promise to Allah Ta'ala to help the children of Afghanistan. I'm an educator, and I could see that during my period in captivity that the children in the areas where I was held hostage had no access to education, or very little access to education. And at that time I made a promise to return to Afghanistan if Allah spared my life and allowed me to live. It's a promise that I have always intended to keep since I was released. Even as I was being released, I spoke with the Taliban captors about returning to them one day. So I have also come back here because I have great hope for the country of Afghanistan, and this hope stems from the people of Afghanistan. No other country or people could go through 53 years of war, of grief, of desolation and of loss, and still have a strength of faith that I have never seen anywhere else in the world. And I also believe in the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. I believe that it is helping the people of Afghanistan. I'm not going to say that I agree with everything. Of course, there are many things that still need to be improved. I am here on the ground, and what I see here on the ground is that the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, the Mujahideen, the defense forces, the people of Afghanistan, they are all working together to create a better future for the Afghan people. I hope that the international community, those who are already supporting Afghanistan, such as Turkey, China, Qatar, and even America and the United Kingdom, all those who are supporting Afghanistan and the Afghan people, that they continue to do so, and those countries which are not, like my own, Australia, and many others who are judging the Afghan people on the basis of propaganda and a false diaspora narrative, that they look past this, and that it is their strength of faith in Islam that has brought them together as a united Afghanistan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and protect the people of Afghanistan. I grew up in a small country town in Australia, and the name of that town is Wagga Wagga. It's in the middle of a big wheat, sheep area. To be perfectly honest, I knew nothing about Islam. When I look back at my life before Islam, it is so different to what it is now. I was full of rage. I grew up and there were issues that challenged me, and I had difficulty with these issues. I resorted to coping mechanisms. I lashed out. I drank too much. I did what was expected, particularly in the Western society. You know, alcohol is a form of coping. And so when I look back now at my life then, I can see why I was so unhappy. There are many reasons that have changed, and the clarity that Islam has brought me, I will never go back to the person that I was before.